Hey y'all, just thought I would try something different today. I've got this old scrap of skateboards that Larry Reeves gave to me. It used to be part of a mallet. The skateboard spatula that I made recently is the other half of this. I thought I could try to make this into a little box or pot, as they call it in over there over the pond in England. So I've got my little mount, my homemade mount for my phone. I'm going to just put this phone in here. Let's see. I don't have my helper today. She's got a real job, unlike me. So I'll just put that in there like that. Excellent. Aim it towards the lathe. Of course, I got these new ear thingies that are not only microphones, but they're also headphones. So we'll get rid of this. The first thing I'm going to do is try to put a tenon on this thing to fit my chuck. So I have this chuck, and I could mount this in here and just make a little pot with it. This is only going to be part one, by the way, because I want to add a little bit of embellishment with. I'm going to have a layer of walnut, I think, in here. So I'm going to put a tenon on probably this side, turn this into a lid about here, just part it off, hollow the inside, and glue on a piece of walnut. Well, I might do it before, who knows. So yeah, this is going to be part one. So tomorrow, once after the glue dries, I'll come back and finish it probably. So let's see what we can do with this. Thanks for joining me if you're watching right now. It's the middle of the day, so I understand not a lot of people have time to, um, well, middle of the day in North America anyway. So not a lot of people have time to take off from their work or whatever. I'm just doing this on a whim, just for fun. Yeah, so I have this scrap of 1/8 inch walnut. I can just cut a little portion off the end. And once I part this, I'm going to just glue this in like that. Put that on the bandsaw for later. So just use my spur center at first, but I need to flatten this end, so I'm just going to cut it on the bandsaw. This thing is round, so you always have to be careful. I don't recommend cutting round things on the bandsaw, but you can if you're careful, very careful. I don't recommend doing this at home. Raise it up just a little bit. There we go. Ain't that pretty? All right, so I'm going to use my spur center here. Sorry about the noise. Bring up my tailstock. It doesn't have to be centered, although I will try to get it as centered as possible. Oop. That looks good enough for this. I'm not going to take too much time with this because I want to keep it interesting at the very least. But we'll get in a little closer here so you can see what I'm doing. All right, plug this in. Gotta get my face shield. I'm not using the face mask today just because I'm talking. Just gonna use a square carbide cutter for now. Gotta go in about 1500. I should tighten this up. Okay, time for the tenon. Might have made that a little too small, maybe. Might be okay, we'll check. Let's see. Oop, wrong way. I always get this confused. I always turn it the wrong way. Oh yeah, excellent. That's almost perfect, actually. Coolio. Pull this out of here. Oop. Guess I should have lubed that up a little bit before working on this. Make sure this is in there straight. A skateboard wood is difficult to work with. You need a really sharp tool. You can't really use carbide tools with it because it tears out the grain so easily because it's laminated and the wood is going all in different directions. Grab my, like I keep saying, I don't have a spindle gouge, but I do have this bowl gouge. That's basically my main tool. I use it for most things. I like to use the carbide for roughing. I'm basically just going to make this round. Kind of find that interesting, that one little bit that's sort of cut off. Not sure how much of that I'll save, however. Whoops! Approach that at the wrong angle and got a catch. Guess I'll flatten the top. Once again, did it wrong. I'll just use my carbide tool to square that off. See how that looks. Yeah, I tore the grain some there when I got the catch. My own fault. Well, I have this spindle gouge that's better for making finishing cuts with. A little bit of tear out, but as I said, it's difficult to get a really nice surface with skateboard wood. But I think that's good enough for this demo. I'm gonna grab my parting tool here. This is basically gonna be the lid. So it's gonna be a pretty small box really, because I'll have to come back and part it here later. That's big to make that lid though. Let's try there. Just in case y'all didn't figure this out. I like to make things up as I go. Actually, before I completely part that off, I'm gonna sand it. Using my Unita sandpaper. I don't necessarily like to sand. Well, not that I've done many live streams, but I don't like to sand during a live stream because I know how boring it is. Try to make it quick. So that's 120. I'm going to skip the 220. Plus, I'm not wearing a dust mask, so I don't want to make too much dust here. By the way, if you're commenting, thanks for the comments. Unfortunately, I can't read them because I don't have a helper here, nor did I bring a laptop out here. Still got a little bit of torn green there from when I got the catch. Let's take that off. Try to do a shear scrape here. It's a little better. I'm not going to bother doing it like super perfect, simply because I'm live. If I was doing this by myself, I could take hours to do it, of course. Okay, I am going to part this now. Do a little bit of a relief so it doesn't get caught in there. All right, there's the lid. Now later, I'll probably come back and hollow out this inside by mounting it on the coal jaws, if it's big enough. Yeah, so it's going to be pretty small pot here. Now I just need to flatten the front so I can glue on my piece of walnut. Take off that little nib. Need to lower the tool rest a little. Because if I'm going to hollow this out, I only need a little bit on the edge. It's hard enough to glue on. Okay, so I'm not even going to bother taking this out of the chuck, because if I do, it won't be perfectly aligned again. So now I'm going to head over to the bandsaw here. Just cut a little square of this 1/8 inch walnut. This is going to be my accent ring, if that makes sense. Grab my glue and some clamps. Well, I probably just need one clamp. glue that on there like that. Actually, this is probably heavy enough. I probably don't need to clamp it. Sliding around. There, I can just probably put something heavy on this. Like that. Alrighty, well, unfortunately that's probably it for today. Because I have to wait for this glue to dry. So you can tune in for part 2 tomorrow. The glue pot on top of the drill. Hi, yeah, so do you have any questions for me about what I was doing? As I said, I couldn't see any of the comments. Thanks for the 9 people that are tuning in and watching. Oh, 20 minutes? That's actually longer than I thought it would take. But things never go as quickly as you anticipate, right? So yeah, I'm gonna come back tomorrow and do another live, maybe around the same time. It's so that was about 1 p.m. Eastern time. So just after lunch, my time. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.